All right. Second day of reflections on how can I live in a wholesome, healthy community. So today I watched I don't want to look at myself, but you'll still be able to see me. So I think you can see me when I look at it. So I'm just looking at nothing. So I watched 2 more Summerhill documentaries today. I watched probably 4 hours of Summerhill school content today, which if you didn't see the thing I did last time, Summerhill is my favorite embodiment of a healthy community I've seen. If I could choose somewhere to live and work right now, it would be Summerhill School. There may be my other favorite embodiment of healthy community I've seen is Art of Accomplishment. And I'm sure there are some small groups of people of Art of Accomplishment living and working together, but I haven't seen that for, let's say, 20 plus people, 30 plus people, which is where I think you kind of need to be in the community range. And something I learned today was I thought that so I was really interested in Summerhill yesterday and today. And I saw that as, well, this is the best thing. I want to go for the best thing. And I probably will email them. I probably will call them at some point. Be like, hey, if I work for you for free and I live in a tent, can we do that? And then just fly to the United Kingdom and do that for like 3 months. I mean, that would be awesome. That'd be fucking awesome. It's the best thing I've seen. I've looked through so many documentaries on education, and it's just not impressive. And now we get to share screen. Let's do entire screen. Share screen, infinite. And then the one we want, I think it's called Community and Cult. No, I think it has cult in the title. Yeah. So this one. So I took notes on a bunch of Art of Accomplishment podcasts, which I love. Yeah. So this one, Finding Community. Awesome. Signs of a Healthy Community. So, right, the question is really, how can I live in a healthy community? Signs of a healthy community. Vulnerability, emotional fluidity, not us versus them, not obligated, not judgmental, healthy boundaries. You really see this. You really, really see this in Summerhill School. And I did this in the last video, but when you look at other similar schools, there's Sudbury Valley, which is close to me in Massachusetts. You can look at videos of those kids, and it is not the same. One of the documentaries I watched today, let's see if I can find it. This is one of the ones I watched today. This one is really good. If you're interested in this, I recommend this one the most out of all the ones I've seen. It's kind of hard to find. Get it on Vimeo. It's kind of hard to find. Costs some money. It's like $5. This is crazy. There's Summerhill School. I hope you can still see me. Yeah, you can. I think you can. There's Summerhill School, and right there, this alternative education. So the government of the UK, whatever, the government had this education board cracking down higher standards for education. They come in. It's fucking hilarious. You got to see this guy come in. I got to see it. It was way earlier. It was way earlier. Yeah, here you go. Show me. They show in that. Yes. Dude, look at the embodiment of everyone here compared to this rigid ass stick up his ass. Look at the way this guy sits in his chair. Look at look at his fucking face. I mean, on some level, you have to feel sorry for him. But if you watch this documentary, the amount of constriction in this man's face compared to everyone else is insane. This man is not okay. And just the way these kids talk with such a groundedness and confidence and authenticity. It is amazing. And compared to, especially if you look at any normal school, any traditional school, kids will almost always smile anxiously when they speak, especially to an authority, especially to a camera. And these kids are so confident you can throw a camera in front of them and they will say exactly what they fucking think. And it's amazing. And they actually have the confidence to express anger, which I think is a lot of the beauty of Summerhill. Like they say when they think shit is fucked up. There's an amazing scene. Basically, they try to take Summerhill down, and then the kids and some lawyers and some community support, they kind of all band together and win the case. It's really awesome, but you really see the children's empowerment in this documentary, and it's fucking beautiful. And they only describe the children's empowerment in the court case, but they do this thing. I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but they have Summerhill has these special meetings once or twice a week, and they literally had a special meeting that they always have in their school in the literal court, and like one of the students sitting literally where the judge sits, and like having all the kids have their regular special meeting in court to have their voices heard, and they can like actually speak up for themselves. They're so empowered. It's so beautiful, and they're so unafraid of conflict. It is so beautiful, and they just really are able to say what they think, which is just, traditional school just destroys out of you. There's, I think it's I really like these kids sitting here. I mean, there's so many things here. It's just they're not anxiously smiling for the most part. Literally, just the physical closeness with which they should sit to each other, the empowerment and confidence in the way they speak, their lack of self consciousness. It is crazy. It is crazy. And they're just willing to actually be mad and have that not be a judge, like a thing that's judged. So cool. So fucking cool. And you know, if there's another documentary with kids this empowered, please show me. But um, in all the alternative education documentaries I've looked through, which may be like 15 at this point, I probably watched like 6. I probably looked at the start of 15. I don't see any kids like this. And so I thought, at first, what I thought is Summerhill's so sick. Let me look at schools like um, Summerhill. Okay, Sudbury Valley School, that's based on it. Okay, Democratic list of Democratic free schools. Let's look through those. Okay, IDE network. Okay, Independent Democratic Education Schools, International Democratic Education Network. Let's look through these. But the thing is that I now see and believe that the thing going on is not democratic education. The thing that is going on is these. This is what's going on. And I'm at the very least, this seems to be a more accurate and more helpful theory than people copying Summerhill, because people are copying Summerhill at too shallow of a level. Look, don't get me wrong, this is a huge improvement, but it's not. It's not. You don't see the same level of empowerment in these students. I mean, let's look. I'd be excited if I did. I mean, just immediately you can tell in the way they make eye contact or not with the camera, and in their voice. There's a much less depth in their voice. Just notice discomfort, anxiously smiling, scared. But any kid this age is scared and uncomfortable and/or doesn't want to be here, right? Like it's so different. I mean, you'd have to watch more of this documentary. It is, it is crazy. It's crazy to me to see children basically this healthy. Also, if you're wondering why this is cults, because I'm also researching the opposite of healthy community, which is cults, which is also very interesting, which is what I was on before this. So this is what seems to actually be going on. And so I'm trying to get to this point, which is I saw Summerhill School today and yesterday, and it's how can I, the question was, how can I find a Summerhill school in the US so that I can live and work at it and live in a healthy community? But I looked through a shit ton of them and I didn't see the culture I wanted to see. And so, because the search process was actually tracking the shallow copy of copying free democratic education. But I think the deep copy is much closer to this. I think a big piece is emotional fluidity. And it's a big piece I think you're not going to see in almost any institution in America, right? So Summerhill School, Art of Accomplishment, Sleepaway Camp. I haven't seen that much video of Sleepawake, but I would definitely bet on it. I have a lot of information on it without having a documentary about it, and I would bet on it, but I don't know. So we'll put it in parentheses. These are places that I could live and work and have healthy culture. And when I say healthy culture, I have an extraordinarily high bar, given the world we're in. Basically, untraumatized culture is basically what I'm saying, but with a light definition of trauma. All conditioning being trauma, basically. A little bit different, but basically. So this is what we're actually tracking. And so the question is, how can I live in a healthy community? And well, I'm interested in some assumptions I'm making here, right? Like, part of me is assuming I need to work in one. I don't need to. I'd be happy to live in a healthy community. Part of me is also like, oh, right, if you're like, how do I find a healthy partner? It's like, oh, be healthy yourself, right? So I'm guessing if it's how do I live in a healthy community, it's like, oh, how can I be healthy myself? I think that's a good point. That's not what I'm exploring right now. That's what I explore when I do emotional work, not when I'm recording an intellectual YouTube video. And this, I actually do, I'm interested in the intellectual part as well. And so then how can I live in a healthy community? What's the search process I want to take? What search process? And for me, when I say want, I think the measure of efficiency is enjoyment. And so it's what search process would I most enjoy? What search process would I enjoy to find healthy community? And immediately what comes out is talk to people I enjoy talking to, try shit as it feels right, and see what happens. Right? I'm glad I wrote that. I didn't have that clear, but that feels pretty good, right? And like, tweet, bang. I'll not apply on a job board. I will talk to people I enjoy talking to until I have a job. I'm pretty sure this will work for you. For me, bang. So part of me is trying to sneak the veggies in. And it says, part of me is trying to push myself to be more efficient and do better. And it says, call Summerhill School tomorrow. Make a banger resume with all your skills. Right? I was literally doing that. Blah. Be more productive in X way. You can go faster. I don't want to do this. And when this comes up, I just rebel it, and it's inefficient. It's inefficient. And it's more likely to get me into situations I don't want to be in. I want to take my time. I have the ability to take my time. So this is really what I want to do. And I think it's going to work. And this is what I want. And I'd like to make money, but I don't need to. I mean, I guess for it to be sustainable long term, that's ideal. So I am most interested in that. You know, how can I live in a healthy community? How can I enjoy financially supporting myself while living in a healthy community? So working in/for it is one option. Is there another option? Working in a separate healthy. I think this one only really works. I'm going to work for an online organization because otherwise I have to find two healthy communities in the same physical location. I don't really want to do that. Only online healthy community I can imagine working for right now is Art of Accomplishment. I could try to create my own role at Art of Accomplishment. I don't really want to do that. So this currently I'm not that interested. So yeah, so that's clarifying. And so then I just want to, how can I live and work in the same healthy community? Right? And then now this is getting interesting. How can I live and work in the same healthy community? Talk to people I enjoy talking to, like online, through Twitter, whatever, through connections. Try shit as it feels right and see what happens. I just want to look like some concrete opportunities. Work away with New School of North Virginia. Ask to sleep in a tent and work for Summerhill. Still a good idea. Just I see these are actually different. This is valuable for me to see how these are different. I do want to email or call Summerhill and ask to sleep in a tent and work for them for free. I don't want to put pressure on myself to call them specifically tomorrow if I don't want to, or I just don't want to put pressure on myself because I don't need to. Because I believe in my own inherent goodness and I don't need to force myself to be better. So how can I live and work in the same healthy community? Talk to people I enjoy talking to, try shit as it feels right and see what happens. How can I enjoy financially support myself working in/for it? This is kind of I don't need this anymore. I'll save it. I don't want to save it as a comment. All right, so this sounds good. So I had one more thing. What did I just have? How can I live and work in the same healthy community? So then I'm curious, what communities would I enjoy living and working in? And so now we're pretty much down to fucking boarding schools. I mean, what else is there? What else is there? What other communities? What other organization is likely? It doesn't have to be likely. What other organizations could have healthy community? Could have healthy community that I could also work in the same community. And that is actually what I was going to write. So let's do that first. What communities could I live? What orgs could I possibly live and work in that have healthy community? Right? You have alternative education. You have alternative education boarding school. It doesn't have to be school. Alternative education sleepaway. Whatever, you sleep there, you live there. Alternative education sleepaway. I'm just gonna say boarding. Yeah, we'll just make a new category. Alternative education boarding school. And then you have year-round alternative education backpacking programs, backpacking, outdoor education, alternative year-round outdoor education. Let's say that. What else do you have? I don't know. There might be more things here. I might ask ChatGPT. That's interesting. So what communities would I enjoy living and working in? Boarding schools, alternative education boarding schools. Year-round outdoor education, it's possible. I mean, if it was as good as Summerhill, it's possible. I definitely put lower weight on that. I wouldn't bet on it, I think. But it's possible. It's definitely possible. I've seen things close. And all right, so I mean, that's pretty cool. That's actually super clear. Because now that I clarified this question, I see how constrained this search space is. And I'm not actually sure. And this is an interesting question mark that I don't feel the need to explore more right now. I'm not sure there's more things on this list. Because a big thing, I'm really excited to work for kids. And this is a thing I thought I would eventually get to today too, is emotional fluidity. I mean, so I'm going to get places that get obligation doesn't work. I'm going to get places that aren't judgmental. And less places, not us versus them. Emotional validity, vulnerability, and healthy boundaries. That shit is fucking rare. If I had to guess the most rare one, I would guess emotional fluidity. So, but emotional fluidity, vulnerability, and healthy boundaries, right? And then here's search process / criteria. I don't really need to do this, but these three especially, I think are going to be really rare. I think they're going to be really, really rare, and especially emotional fluidity, which is something that's so beautiful. If you look at their house meetings, people are not a great example, but I'm impressed with their emotional fluidity. I actually don't see. I probably. I don't know. I don't know about that. Can I pause streaming? Whatever. I'm gonna keep going. Actually, I'm literally just gonna go to the bathroom and not pause this. And if you're actually watching this, you can just switch ahead. You can just click ahead. Boom, we're back. I'm so fucking tired. All right. I mean, what is there? I mean, that's the fucking question. What am I even trying to fucking figure out? It's literally just this. And this is really helpful. So I think that is so I think I have the next question, which is how can I make it So what I was gonna say is how can I make it more efficient? Whoa. is really how can I make it easier for other people to help me? And really the question is, how can I enjoy making it easier for other people to help me? And I think what I enjoy, one thing I'm doing is this video, these videos. See if that keeps happening. What else could I do? I want to come up with dream job so that I can very clearly understand what I'm looking for and what I'm offering. Turning into a should, but it is true. I just want that. I don't need to do it on any timeline. I mean, that feels good for me. I just want to do that. This is a big part of that. I mean, let's just try it right now. It's too much pressure. All right, if I had to use one of these, thing is, people don't. I say emotionally fluid. It's probably easier for people. Vulnerable, people can track. Not obligation, people can track. Healthy, that people know. I think people have some, but I think healthy boundaries might confuse people. So vulnerable and not obligated. So I want to live and work in a community that values I would say non-coercion. I don't know if anyone, what's the easiest? I'll just do it off the top. I want to live and work in a community that values non-coercion and vulnerability and conflict resolution. I actually think conflict resolution is a great tracker here. It's something that you'll see Summerhill work so much better than even this place. I'd actually be interested to watch the rest of this video. I want to live and work in a community that values non-coercion, lack of obligation, that is against obligation, and values vulnerability and conflict resolution. For me, emotional fluidity is really a big thing I'm tracking, but I think vulnerability is easier for people to interpret. So I want to live and work in a community that is against obligation and values vulnerability and conflict resolution. What do we have to offer? It's a lot of things. God, resume. What do I really have to offer? The ability to be deeply present with children, treat them like peers, respect them like peers, and be genuinely open and I would say impartial, not pushing, be genuinely open and free, not advice, be genuinely open and impartial, and then unconditional love. The ability to be deeply present with children, respect them like peers, and be genuinely open and impartial while still being playful as fuck. Basically, I'm a good fucking camp counselor. which you can see from some of that shit. But if you can't handle playful as fuck, you can die. I'll take that. I like this. I like this. And there's a thing which is like, I want to live and work and be myself. Part of being myself is basically doing that. It would be nice if I imagine the role, example role being one-on-one support guide, house parent, camp counselor, emotional lifeguard, etc. This feels pretty good. Probably can do cool. And I want to screenshot this. All right, I think that's it for today. Woo! I'm tired. This was fun. Things happen every day. Even when they don't feel like they're happening. I learned a lot today. How do I hide? Stop sharing. Even when I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just watching documentaries. I learned a lot today. I learned a lot yesterday. I'm making a lot of progress. I'm very grateful for Summerhill School. Wow. Very grateful for Art of Accomplishment. Very grateful for Sleepaway Camp. Man, very fucking grateful for the Art of Accomplishment podcast on Community. I would have to think. I wouldn't have to, but I would think so much. I already am thinking a lot, but man, my analysis would be much less clear without Art of Accomplishment's Community podcast. This is fun. I like doing this. And If you actually watch this, kind of crazy. I hope you have a good day. I'm so tired, dude. It's hard for me to sleep. Yeah, I mean, if you watched last one, I couldn't sleep last night because I was so excited about this stuff. Okay, that's enough. 40 minutes. We're gonna end right at 40 minutes. Bye. Love you. Mwah. And no.